James, you through to a grand final. How does that feel?
Yeah, buzzing. Do you know, like, the team works so hard. We knew this semi-final was going to be really tough. You know, Halifax, they've got a reputation as being a strong team. They used to be one of the most dominant teams in the country. They fly players over from Catalan to bolster their numbers. So we knew it was going to be tough, but we knew a few weeks ago we had the league leaders in the bag, so we just started focusing on this. This was the target, this was the game. And absolutely, every single one of those players played the best game they have all year. Do you know, Scraps and Tom played their heart out, best game they've played all year. Josh is consistent himself across the board. Nathan Mullall, Jodie, everyone. Jodie captaining the team for the first time. She's in her second final, so obviously made it to the cup final. So I can't really put it into words, I'm just full of emotion at the moment, but yeah, absolutely over the moon.
You lost to this opposition last week. You must be really proud of how your team bounced back, but you say there that it wasn't really in the back of your mind, was it, that game last week?
It's almost like we didn't show them everything last week when we played them. Yeah, we went out last week with a very different mindset, and we did different combinations and different players that we wouldn't be doing this week, because we wanted them to come into this thinking they were going to face the team from last week. So we started different players, you know, we changed it, we swapped it, and we came here with a very strict game plan, and we stuck to it throughout. And there was a little period we kind of lost it a little bit, but you expect that in games, don't you? It's 80 minutes, it's hard to concentrate for 80 minutes, but I'm really proud of how the team played. Honestly, they were absolutely fantastic.
That first half, everything seemed to go your way, but defensively, real big effort, particularly in that last minute when they started to come back to you. Were you pleased defensively?
Oh God, over the moon. Like, Halifax are a team who can, once they get a roll and they're hard to stop, they've got two big guys, you know, Seb and Jeremy, that have come over from Catalan, and they're big units, and if you let them get a run on, they'll just go through you, and they find gaps. So we came up with a plan to stop them, and we did it. We executed it, and yeah, the defensive effort. I feel like that the fact they took the two on their first opportunity on the try line and then didn't score for the rest of the half, it kind of just bolstered our team. They were just so proud, and they could see how proud they were defending for each other, getting in there and working hard for each other, and then they just fed off that as well. Yeah, I think I'm more proud of the defence than anything in that first half. It was fantastic.
Let's talk the second half. Credit to Halifax, they did come back into the game, didn't they? What was the message to your team? Obviously they kept chipping away at those score lines, but what was the message going on there?
We had a period where we started just trying to defend our lead, and I was like, no, we need to defend it when we have to defend it, but let's keep striking, let's keep piling on the pressure and getting those points. And that was kind of the message that went on, and then I just think we thought we were going to do what we did in the first half, and sometimes the second half is a totally different game, and we just had to adjust to that, but they adapted really well, and that's what I'm really proud of, is how adaptable the players are. And that's, if I could pick one thing out of any attribute, I want them to be adaptable, and they did that out there. They moulded to what the Halifax were doing in the second half.
You mentioned it being Jodie's first year as captain. It's also your first year as coach.
Yeah.
How have you enjoyed it?
It's tricky. Like, when I used to kind of play coach, you can make an impact on the field, but as the head coach on the sideline, you can't, and you've got to rely on the message you send in, and you've got to put trust in the players to do it. But I love that, and I relish that. I relish giving them that responsibility and giving them the challenge to adapt to what's in front, and I feel like I almost want to not exist on game day. I want them to be able to adapt to whatever's in front of them, and they did that. You know, I gave them the freedom to take the two whenever they wanted to, or run it. You know, I said, that's up to you guys. You can feel what's going on out there, and they delivered that in spades. They were getting penalties, they were running it, they were scoring, and yeah, it is stressful though on the sideline. Yeah, I'm sure Lois is saying the same when she went from player, but it is quite stressful at times. Sometimes you get it in your head that they're going to come back and win, even though you're like 30 points ahead. But it's stressful.
Finally, just a word on this crowd and the growing support for Leeds Rhinos Day. What a brilliant crowd, and hopefully they'll continue to support you right through to the grand final.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we had drums and everything going at one point. It was ace, and I feel like every single seat was taken. There's easily a couple of hundred people here, and like, we've been away from Leeds this year doing these like magic rounds to keep the game growing and to keep people's eyes on it. I feel like next year we get in some home venues, we get back here, we get crowds in. It's just amazing. We had Rowan up there as well. Do you know how good's that the head coach of the senior men's team has come to watch us play? I mean, what other team does that? And that shows what we are as a club. It's just one big club of Rhinos going out there and delivering.
Just finally, Josh Butler, just a word on him. What a week for him, our player of the season, and also being nominated for Young Player of the Year. How pleased have you been with him this year?
Josh has absolutely grown, and I don't want it to sound condescending, but he's become so mature on and off the field, and he's in the gym training, he's working hard, his nutrition, he's watching the game back. We'll download the game on the video and stick it on. He's one of the first players to watch it back, and it just shows a huge level of maturity, and for me he should get picked for the England squad this year to go against France, because he's one of the standout players in the league this year. I think he should get Young Player of the Year and Player of the Year, but I doubt that'll happen, but yeah, he's been outstanding for us.